I'm inspired in my defiance today by the fact that Donald Trump accused 6 Democratic lawmakers, all with intelligence or military veteran status, of seditious behavior and said that they should be put to death. This kind of behavior is incredibly dangerous and should not be taken lightly. Now, what did these Democratic lawmakers do that earned this kind of behavior from our sitting president? They simply quoted from the Uniform Code of Military Justice, the code by which all military personnel fall under. This is 6 veterans, folks who actually wore the uniform, unlike Donald Trump and many in his inner circle. All of those people, including Donald Trump himself, have taken an oath to the Constitution and not to a single man. And to call for the death penalty for adhering to the Constitution, for adhering to the Uniform Code of Military Justice, is absolutely insane. The issue that I think is most important in understanding what's going on here is that he sees that his word is more important than the Constitution. His beliefs that whatever he says, the military should go by, rather than adhering to what their contract, what their oath says. To be clear, he believes that these 6 officials are telling the military to reject the commands of the commander-in-chief. Rather, they are simply saying, if a command is illegal, you have not only the right, but also the duty to reject it. Now, that does put a significant load on every service member to know what is legal or illegal, but it isn't too much to ask when you are being asked to follow orders that are blatantly against the Constitution. Every soldier, every person in our military structure should understand what the Constitution says, and they should know when they are being asked to do something that is wrong. And it is intensely problematic for the President of the United States to call for the death of his political opponents. This is totalitarianism. This is evidence of fascism. And while there may be a lot of political nothing burgers, there may be a lot of things that the Democrats might want to call attention to that are small potatoes, this is not one of them. You should never call for political violence. You should never call out specific individuals for asking military personnel to simply follow the law. It shows that you believe you are above the law, or in fact that you are the law. And none of that is the truth. It is not a seditious act to follow the Constitution. And if you believe that it is, you should be democratically removed from power. And I'm also inspired by my reality today that Ron Wyden, a Democratic senator from the state of Oregon, that he has continued to investigate how JP Morgan handled $1.1 billion of Epstein-linked transactions. He is questioning why these transactions, again, $1.1 billion worth, why JP Morgan Chase let them go through without flagging them as suspicious behavior. And then why in 2019 they chose to flag them as suspicious on these mandatory reports after everything had gone through and these girls had been trafficked. He wants to see JP Morgan Chase take responsibility for these transactions, for allowing them to go through and for allowing Jeffrey Epstein to continue to be such a terrible sex predator. And he's also asking why the Treasury Department has refused to release the files that show this kind of shady behavior. $1.1 billion is a lot of money to look the other way. And it's clear that's what they were doing, both the government and the banking sector. Jeffrey Epstein was making people a lot of money, and they wanted that to continue. It doesn't matter how he did it. It doesn't matter how many laws he broke or what kind of morals he had. The goal was the money. And if we know anything about modern politics, the way that we figure out the paper trail, the way that we figure out who is guilty, who is to blame, is to follow the money. And so that's all that Ron Wyden is attempting to do here. He is attempting to follow the money for who funded Jeffrey Epstein's global empire. And I'm heartened to see that there are other lawmakers who are interested in finding out the truth, that are interested in why he got such a sweetheart deal, that are interested in why Ghislaine Maxwell was moved to a minimum security prison, that are interested in why she might receive a pardon, that are interested in why all of these powerful people seem to continue their obfuscation of the truth. And as I have said before, I don't care who is implicated in these financial transactions. If you were a part of making money off of Jeffrey Epstein, you should absolutely have consequences for that. And it is up to us, as members of the public, to continue to hold the legislators' feet to the fire so that they continue to push for the truth. This is not taking our eye off the ball of what really matters. Justice for victims matters. The truth matters. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, you've clearly found something you liked or something you hated long enough to watch it to the end. So I encourage you to leave a comment down below. I'll be sure to reply. And I hope you will join me every weekday as we are inspired in defiance and by reality.